What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is Monday, and welcome to Dead on Dave Productions, your daily focus. First thing I want to do, I want to announce a few changes to the channel, a little bit of a schedule, so you guys, and I'm going to put this up on the banner. I'm trying to get someone to help me out with that, to where you'll see exactly what is on what day. I'm just trying for a little more structure. So here it is. Sunday, from now on, Sundays will always be viewer questions. People seem to be enjoying that. I enjoy it, so I will continue to answer viewer questions every Sunday. Mondays, it's going to be kind of a sports wrap-up and wrestling and all kind of mixed up. That's what we're going to do today. I'm going to talk some NFL, I'm going to talk some baseball, some basketball, and I'm going to talk wrestling. Also on Mondays, I'll be doing Monday Night Raw previews. So I'm going to do that as well today. And a new segment where called Random Phone Calls, where I'm just going to open up Skype and just call somebody. I don't even know who. I'm just going to call a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Be fun. Tuesday, and here's the Skype sound, I'm sure. Should have opened it before. Yeah, there you go. Tuesdays will be Wrestler Spotlight Day. Now, people have asked for this. People have talked about it. I think it's a good idea, where every Tuesday I'm just going to highlight a wrestler. Past, present, whatever. And I'm just going to talk about what I like about them, what I don't like about them, their highlights, everything that they've done, some of their best matches, some of their best work, titles, all that stuff. I'm just going to talk about a wrestler. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Wednesday is Random Rant or Review Day. Wednesdays have been that kind of hodgepodge day where I just talk about all kinds of different stuff. So that's going to continue to be like that. And I'll probably also be doing fan interactions on that day. I'm working on going live, so maybe even Wednesday might be a live show. And I just take calls or just call some of you crazy sons of bitches out there. Be a lot of fun. Thursday, of course, would be just a regular daily focus and Creators Corner, because Creators Corner needs its own day. Creators Corner comes back this Thursday. I'm not sure who's going to be, which one I have 3 ready to go. I don't know which one I'm going to release, so be ready. Friday, until SmackDown changes days to Thursday, Friday will continue to be a top 5 day where I just do random top 5 lists, moves, wrestlers, tag teams, pay-per-views, whatever. I'm just going to continue to do that. Saturday, again, until the switch, will continue to be the SmackDown review day. But once SmackDown switches to Thursday, I will switch days, and that'll be the top 5 day. So I hope you guys are excited about that. A little bit of structure, so you know what you're always getting. And that's on top of all the other stuff that I do, the random videos, the breaking news stuff, or the unboxings. I just want to add a little bit more structure so you guys always know what you're getting every single day out of Dead on Dave Productions. Okay? Awesome. So let's get in today, shall we? I mean, we got all kinds of stuff happening in sports. My God. This will make some of you guys happy out there who love to hear about other sports. There's a lot of stuff. Football, lots of football. A little bit of basketball, a little bit of baseball and hockey. So we'll get into that in a minute. Let's start with the Monday Night Raw preview, since I know so many of you are here strictly for wrestling. So tonight, Edge and Christian will host Monday Night Raw. I don't know what that even means. I'm not sure if I should be excited about this or not, because you can't touch Edge because he has a neck that's basically a stack of quarters, as Triple H so once famously said. And Christian is Christian. So even if he does do something, who really gives a shit? Somebody asked me yesterday, who I think the most overrated wrestler is. This is not my definitive answer that I'll give on Sunday, but one of those guys is probably Christian. Everybody talks about Christian, all the fans, all the smarks. Why didn't Christian get a bigger push? He's Captain Charisma. Blah, blah, blah. He was so big and shut the fuck up. Christian is overrated. He didn't become as big as people wanted him to because he couldn't. He sucks. He's not that good. He's Edge light, all right? It's just how it is. He's okay. He's perfectly fine, but he's fucking boring as hell. He does, for someone who calls himself Captain Charisma, he doesn't have much of it. And I get that it's supposed to be the irony in the name, but Jesus, he's not that interesting to me. Edge has always overshot him in my views, and that's just my take. So, also the big thing that's going on tonight is the Ascension debuts. This scares me because they're basically being brought up as Legion of Doom, and it's weird. It seems like they're the same gimmick they were down in NXT, just kind of cranked up to 11, you know what I mean? And that could be good or bad. Hopefully they're just going to come in and stomp people and add some new pizzazz and life to the tag team division. I hope that it's not terrible. It worries me. It worries me. Vince bringing up the most dominant tag team in NXT for a very long time and bringing them in with this type of gimmick, and then all of the backstage talk about Adrian Neville being a Mighty Mouse inspired shit. It really makes me nervous. I love Vince, but man, can he get some kind of non-bad disease that just something like, I don't know, have really bad carpal tunnel or something where he can't come to fucking work. I don't want him stricken with anything bad. You know, I don't want like a fucking polio outbreak, but something, you know, that fucking prevents him from coming to the office anymore. Like, oh, I've got degenerative arthritis in my fingers and I can't write anything anymore. And I have laryngitis, so I can't talk to everybody. What we're gonna do, he's gonna be arrogant. No more. No more, please. Oh, God. I love you, Vince. You're a visionary, but it's time to step aside. So, other than that, I mean, what's Ambrose going to do? Are they going to continue the angle with Wyatt? I mean, it looked like it based off of what happened on SmackDown. Interested to see what's going to keep happening with the Usos situation. I really hope this is leading to a breakup of the Usos. That'll be really fun. So there's all kinds of cool stuff that could happen from this, and I'm excited about it. A lot of different storylines. We'll see what's going on with Seth Rollins. I think Brock Lesnar is scheduled for the night. I think. I can't remember. He might be there. He might not be there. You never know. This is the New Year's Eve show. It's the New Year. It's the last show of the year. They might do something big. Or maybe they won't do anything. Who knows? But it's getting awfully close. We're 4 weeks away now from the Royal Rumble. Something like that. It's nut-cutting time now, boys and gals. It's time to start getting crazy, I think. So, there you go. That's what I'm looking for Raw tonight. Let's get into some NFL action, shall we? A lot of fucking shit happened yesterday. Crazy, crazy shit. And I was going to start with the playoffs, but instead I'm going to start with Black Monday is here. Okay, Black Monday is here, and I had a list of coaches that I thought were going to get fired, and I'm still going to go through that, but hell, we've already had a whole bunch of fucking action already. And by the time you read or watch this, I'm sure there's going to be more. But Rex Ryan, you're fucking gone. Same thing with their GM. He's out finally. Rex fucking Ryan finally gone from the goddamn Jets. It feels like he should have been fired 2-3 fucking years ago. Just a great defensive mind, but not a good head coach. Just not a good head coach. Mike Smith up in Atlanta. Probably should have been fired last year. Wasn't. He's lost his team. They've lost their identity, and that's a team that is underachieved. And in the worst division in football, completely coughed it up and allowed Carolina to take that division. That's fucking crazy. It's not only crazy how bad that division was, it's crazy to think how bad Matt Ryan has gotten. Matt Ryan looked like he was going to be the real deal. Not so much anymore. They brought in Devin Hester from the Bears. He had a pretty damn good year. I think he made the Pro Bowl as a returner. They had a decent year as a receiver, too, as a number 4 receiver on that squad. Julio Jones, as good as he is, he needs to stay healthy. Health has a lot to do with it. They didn't replace their big tight end, Tony Gonzalez. The defense doesn't seem to have any super talent on there. And they continued to make mistakes in the running back position. Basically thinking that they had these young guys like Quiz Rogers and stuff that could be these home run hitters, and they just, over the last few years, continue to bring in these aging running backs like Steven Jackson this year, and that was supposed to do it. Well, guess what? Mike Smith, you lost your job because of it. Jim Hardball, that he wasn't really fired. It was more of a mutual let going of, and he's gone, and he's already signed with Michigan. So one of the biggest fucking stories about where Jim Hardball is going to go and all these teams chasing him, the biggest name on the market for a head coaching job is already off because he has signed with the University of Michigan. He's there. So there it is. He didn't fuck around. He went home, boy. He went home. And the one that means the most to me, because I'm a Bear fan, Trestman and the GM, Phil Emery, both gone. And you know what? Good fucking bye. People could say, oh, he had the offense so good last year and all of this, blah, blah, blah. He did. And Trestman made some vast improvements with the offensive line. But here's the thing. They overpaid Jay Cutler, and I think that's the biggest reason why Phil Emery is gone. And for whatever reason, Trestman, whatever he did last year to get a better performance out of Cutler most of the season, could not repeat this year. Trestman likes to run this dink and dunk offense, and it just, you can do that, which is fine, but when you have the weapons, you have these huge receivers, Alshon Jeffrey, Brandon Marshall, who did get hurt towards the end of the year. You got a great tight end, Martellus Bennett, 6'6". You got the best running back, overall running back. He's maybe not the greatest, just sheer runner in the league, because that's Le'Veon Bell. But Matt Forte is probably the most complete back in the NFL, set a new all-time record for receptions by a running back in a season. Unfucking real. And all of this talent and an ever-improving offensive line. But the problem was Cutler. Cutler can't get the ball out. He holds onto the ball. He makes terrible decisions. Terrible decisions. And I'm just tired of fucking this Twitch. What the fuck? Look, there's no way we're getting rid of Cutler. It's just, we paid him too much. He was the highest paid player in football this year. Think about that. Jay Cutler was the highest paid player in football. And Cutler is by no means a bad quarterback. He's an average quarterback. His numbers dictate that. He is an average in everything he does, middle of the road, except this year he was above average in turnovers because he led the league. And that's unfortunate. Cutler, I don't know. We're stuck with him for 2 more years probably, unless we can get a trade from Tennessee, which is probably the only spot that has a chance of taking him off of our hands. But I'm not counting on that. So I'm operating under the assumption that we are keeping Jay Cutler. And if that's the case, there's only one name that makes sense. And it kind of hurts my fucking head to think about this because I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. He's a great coach. At least he was once upon a time. Mike Shanahan. Mike Shanahan, the one guy who got the most out of Jay Cutler. Mike Shanahan, who was with him and Brandon Marshall in Denver. Mike Shanahan that also completely mismanaged an entire franchise in Washington. You know, I don't know if he's the answer, but here's what I do know. In the history of the Chicago Bears organization, which is one of the oldest franchises in football, they've never, ever hired a head coach with experience. Every coach they've ever hired, with the exception of Papa Bear, because he came back like once or twice. But still, even then, he only had experience with the Bears. They've never hired a head coach with previous coaching experience. Head coaching experience. I think that's going to change. I think it has to change. Maybe you just throw enough money at fucking Gruden, John Gruden, you know? Get him out of the booth and you throw enough money at him to bring him in. I mean, maybe that's the answer. Try it. Maybe beg Herman Edwards. Herman, fuck it. Try to get Herman Edwards out of there. There's a few guys. But Mike Shanahan might be the best option unless you're going to blow up the team, which I don't think is a terrible idea. Look, Matt Forte's value is super, super high. It's up there. You can get a lot for Forte. I think you probably at least get a second rounder out of him. People might be like, are you crazy? Get a first rounder for Forte. I don't think so. I think he's going to be 29 going into next season. That's a lot of age for a running back. So I think he's still worth a good second rounder, maybe a second and a fourth, second and a fifth maybe. Get something out of him like that. And I think that would be a good deal. If you can get another running back to take his place, what's the point of hanging on to him when this team isn't doing anything? Get some assets for him. Free up some cap space because that's what you need to do. The Bears need to rebuild. So, all right, there's my Bears corner. Sorry about that, guys. I had to get a few things out about the Bears. So let's go ahead and let's look at the rest of the guys who could be getting fired on this Black Monday. Joe Philbin down in Miami. He's probably out. The way they lost yesterday and the way they've seemed to have quit on him, the Mike Wallace situation, I don't see the point of bringing back Philbin. I see him being fired, but it wouldn't surprise me if he stays. Hardball gone. Tony Sperano with Oakland, he's almost surely gone. They already fired Dennis Allen earlier in the year. Sperano hasn't turned anything around to make that team decide to keep him and think he's the long-term answer. Although their biggest target was Jim Hardball, and he's off the market. So maybe they look around and say Sperano's the best option here. Maybe. I don't know. Rex Ryan gone. Bears cleaned house. Jay Gruden, Washington. Yeah, this is a one-and-done situation. He buried RG3. And it all depends on what management, what the ownership, Dan Snyder, who's in love with RG3, it all depends on how much they value RG3. If they value him a whole hell of a lot, guess what? He's staying. He's staying, and they're getting rid of the coach. It's just how it is. Jay Gruden has completely fucking buried RG3 over the entire season, and he doesn't really seem to have a concept of how to be a head coach. He's a great coordinator, but maybe he's just not head coaching material. So maybe it's time to turn the page already. Why put yourself through another season of mediocrity, especially when it's just going to be more of the same shit? The defensive coordinator, Jim Haslett, has to fucking go. Has to go. No question about that. So I'm expecting that change. But Gruden kept him on from the previous regime. So he might have to be held responsible for that. So I'm thinking there's about a 70% chance that Jay Gruden is gone, I'm thinking. That's my opinion there. Tom Coughlin, New York Giants. God, it seems like every year there's like this thing, Tom Coughlin needs to go. Yet he always survives. They played well at times, had a lot of bad luck, injuries, and Eli might be done, but every time we seem to say that, they go ahead and turn it around. There's a good possibility Tom Coughlin gets another year. I'm not surprised if he's gone, but it might be time. He's old. People don't like the way he's super militant and disciplinary. It might be time for him to go. Ken Whisenhunt down in Tennessee. He might be a one-and-done guy. Who knows? Whisenhunt has never been able to do anything outside of being a really, really good coordinator if he didn't have Kurt Warner. He had Kurt Warner, and he was able to make something happen. Maybe it makes sense if they take a shot at Cutler. Maybe Ken Whisenhunt can get something out of him. He would be the best talent that he's had down there in Tennessee. There's no question about that. So, but he could be gone too. I think there's a good possibility. And finally, Gus Bradley down in Jacksonville. Been there 2 years. Even though a lot of people don't see Gus Bradley as a top candidate to be fired, I don't see why I keep him. He hasn't changed any of the dynamic there. Players are not responding to him. Granted, they're not rolling over and giving up, but still, I don't see the point in keeping him. There's got to be a better option out there at this point. That's all of the main guys that are on the hot seat. But I think there should be one more guy. One more guy. And this is to all the fucking assholes out there who are like, Lovie Smith, it's a crime he didn't get a head coaching job. And this was last year. The Bears let him go, and then nobody wanted him. It's a crime that he didn't get a head coaching job. Oh, it's racism. He's one of the best coaches in the league. Look what he did with the Bears. Blah, 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 blah. Lovie Smith goes and inherits a fucking talented team down in Tampa Bay. Super talented, and runs them into the ground. Worst record in the league, 2-14. And let me tell you something, guys. If you're not disgusted at what you saw yesterday in the second half of that football game, he should be fired for that reason alone. He can say that they didn't tank, but anybody watching that game can see they threw that fucking game to the Saints. They had a big lead going into the second half, and then they just stopped playing the game. It's like at halftime they went to the tunnel and said, hey, we need that number 1 overall pick. We're losing this game. And it's exactly what they did. It's disgusting. It's reprehensible. In basketball and such, you tank over the length of a season. But when a team comes and blatantly lays down the way they did in the second half of that game, the entire fucking management should be gone. The ownership should be under investigation. This shit pisses me off so goddamn much. It irritates the living shit out of me. Tanking is disgusting. It's the most reprehensible act in all of sports. When you tank, when you flop, when you just say fuck it and give up, especially when you have a lead over a terrible team like the fucking Saints, you should just be, for shame, Tampa. For shame. Okay. Let's get on to the playoffs. Let's end the football talk with some positive notes, shall we? Going into the weekend, we have our byes in the AFC. Number 1 and number 2 seeds are New England and Denver, 1 and 2. So they get to take a breather, and they don't have to play nothing, heal up, and get ready for the teams coming in. On Saturday, we have the AFC wildcard game, which is Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Baltimore's number 6, and Pittsburgh's number 3 seed. I want to say Pittsburgh, but for some reason I think Baltimore's going to win this game. Flacco seems to get up for games like this. Pittsburgh is still pretty damn good. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to call the upset here. I'm going to go with Baltimore, and I'm probably going to get killed for that one, but I don't really give a shit. Baltimore is going to take that game, I think. And the NFC game, wild card game, Arizona at number 5 Arizona at number 4, the division winning Carolina Panthers. What are they? 7, 8, and 1, some shit like that. Oh my God. They get to host a game. Every part of me wants to say they're going to lose this game. However, if Drew Stanton isn't back, at the very least, if Drew Stanton isn't playing, Arizona cannot put any offense on the board. They got a hell of a defense, though. They could and should win this game. Carolina's got a chip on their shoulder right now, and they're playing really good football. But they're playing good football against bad teams and bad defenses. They're not beating anybody that's making me go, oh, let's watch them in the playoffs. I don't know if they're going to be able to score on this defense. So I'm going to go with Arizona. Which is, I guess, the upset here. They're number 5 against number 4, even though I'm fairly certain, this could be a push too. I'm not sure if they're going to be the favorites in this game. They probably should be, even without a quarterback, but it all depends on who's playing quarterback, I think. Sunday, AFC wildcard game, Cincinnati, number 5, at number 4, Indianapolis, who has not been playing good football as of late. But I got a feeling they're going to turn it back up at home. Andrew Luck is going to become Andrew Luck again. Maybe they can get some life in the running game. Cincinnati doesn't seem to have enough right now on either side of the ball. I think the Colts is one of the clear winners going into the playoffs. I think they should win this game pretty easily. And the final NFC wildcard game is Detroit, number 6, at number 3, Dallas. Woo. Detroit should be gone. They're one and done. They're not playing great football. They lost to Green Bay. They're a dirty fucking team. And you know what? While we're talking about Detroit, Ndamukong Suh should be suspended for this game. Should not be playing at all. He's the dirtiest player in football. People talked about his maturity, but yet in the big spotlight, once again, he shows what type of a fucking low-down piece of shit player he is, and he stomps on Aaron Rodgers. Now, he's a Packer, and I don't have a problem with stomping on Aaron Rodgers. I'm all for stomping on Aaron Rodgers. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. I'll stomp on Aaron Rodgers. But you know what? What he did was wrong. It's not right to stomp on anybody, even Aaron Rodgers, who I fucking hate. Ndamukong Suh should be suspended for at least one game, and hopefully he will be hit for a huge fine. And people, if you're out there right now screaming at your computer going, "What are you talking about, Dave? It didn't look like that serious." Go watch it again. Watch it in real time. Watch it in fucking slow-mo, and you will see he takes one step, and then he takes another step and clamps down. And even if it wasn't fully on purpose, he has enough of a reputation by this point with all the shit that he has done, which is quite a bit in his short career, that it should warrant a hefty fine and suspension. Fuck Ndamukong Suh. That's right. Donkey Kong Sue, as Cam Newton calls him. It wasn't racist when Cam Newton said it, but it's probably racist that I said it. I don't know. So, yeah, there it is. The 1 and 2 seed in the NFC is Seattle and Green Bay. They get the rest as well. So those are your playoff matchups. What do you guys think of that, if you give a shit? I know not too many people on here are looking for football, but you got some anyway. Okay. Here's a little note from Dead on Dave to all the kids out there. Listen, kiddies. Go play Major League Baseball. Get out there and play baseball, all right? Listen to me. Go hit a ball. Go throw a ball 95 miles an hour. That's where you want to go. Why am I saying this, do you ask? Well, a few reasons. Yes, it is probably the toughest sport to break into because of all the players and all the different leagues of organized ball and all of that. It is difficult. Don't get me wrong. However, it's the easiest on your body. And that money, yeah, my God. This year, the Major League Baseball average salary will go up by nearly 13% and exceed $3 million per year. That's average MLB salary, baby. People are making bank in Major League Baseball. And people can say, oh, baseball's not what it wants. Let me tell you, baseball's average attendance is just the only league that's killing it is football, because we're all fucking brainwashed about fucking football. But the reality is baseball's still fantastic. And there's a lot of it out there. That's where you want to go, kids. Go make that money in baseball. You're not going to kill your bodies. You don't have to worry about concussions. You just got to play the game. Let's talk a little basketball real quick. Never talk basketball on this show, so let's get into that. LeBron James is clearly frustrated with his team, and for good reason. They're not very good, and he said as much. I think he's having a little bit of buyer's remorse. He's very disgruntled. I don't think there's any question. They got completely wiped out by fucking Detroit. They're like 18-12 or something like that. Not where this team, anyone thought they were going to be, especially after getting Kevin Love in there as well. Here's the thing. LeBron he claims he knew this was going to be a long-term thing. I call bullshit. If he knew this was going to be a long-term commitment and a long-term strategy, and he was all about it, and he was going to be there for the long haul, then why even put the opt-out clause in your contract? Do you guys realize that? He's got the opt-out clause again after this season. He can opt out of his contract and leave Cleveland. And let me tell you, it's exactly what he's going to do. He's one and done in Cleveland. He's going to leave you again, Cleveland. He's going to do it. He's going to stomp on your fucking hearts. And when he does, he'll do another fucking decision. Because that's what this guy is all about. Here's the reality. His physical attributes are starting to fade. He's almost 30 years old. He is not that same player he was when he was 20. He's been in the league a long time. He's played a hell of a lot of minutes. He went ahead and lost a bunch of weight in the offseason to try to regain some of that physical burst that he's had in the past. Guess what? His size is one of the biggest reasons why he was so goddamn good for so long. Don't get me wrong. LeBron James is still probably easily one of the 3 best players on the planet right now. However, he's not Michael Jordan, because guess what? Even in Michael Jordan's later stages in his career, he still made everyone around him better. Even if he couldn't control the game in every aspect, his presence and his ability to make players around him step up is what made him great. He had a couple of guys that were good, but guess what? Would you take Scottie Pippen and Horace Grant or Dennis Rodman over Kevin Love and who's that point guard they got? Kyrie Irving? No, nobody would. As much as I love Scottie Pippen, you're going to take Kevin Love and Kyrie Irving. My God. And they have other talented players on that team. And LeBron can't get the job done. And why? One of the reasons is because my Bulls are playing so well. Yay. Sticking in basketball, the only guy who probably regrets his decision more than LeBron is Carmelo Anthony, who, after taking the money, after stating, all I want to do is win, takes the money and stays with a terrible Knicks organization that everybody can see was going to be a terrible team yet again. Yeah, now there's been talks about how he wants to get traded. They don't have anyone who could run Phil Jackson's scheme. Yeah, Phil Jackson's not the head coach. He's the president. However, he might as well be the head coach. He is running things. They instituted the triangle that nobody on that team seems to be able to run properly. Why? Because their biggest focal point on the floor is Carmelo Anthony, who wants to shoot the ball 40 fucking times a game. You can't run the triangle when you got a guy who every time he touches the ball puts it up from fucking 15 feet to 28 feet away. It doesn't matter. He shoots the goddamn ball. It's what Carmelo does. It's what New York paid for, and this is what Carmelo signed up for. He wanted the money. He got the money. But guess what? He's regretting it. And good. I'm glad you're regretting it. I'm going to risk everybody turning off their internet feed right now and talk about hockey. I love hockey. I'm on Tommy C's show quite a bit talking about hockey and all that stuff. But let's face it, hockey's a niche market. Hockey is a ratings killer, as some of the people in the sports industry like to call it. Kind of a little bit of a ratings killer. But I'm going to talk a little bit hockey real quick because something so bizarre is happening that I got to get it out. As a matter of fact, I'm going to see if Tommy C's on. If Tommy C's on, I'm calling him because I got to ask him about this shit because this shit's crazy. This be cray-cray. Are you on? Are you on, you son of a bitch? No, he's not on. Lucky he's not on, because I'd be calling him and asking him questions. Oh, Jake Link's on. Well, let's see if Jake can talk. No, Jake can't talk. Damn you, Jake. No. Can you talk, Jake? If he can't talk, that would be awesome if he could talk. Doesn't look like he can. No worries. Let's just go ahead and talk about what I want to talk about here. New Jersey head coach Peter DeBoer is fired, and then they go ahead and make the weirdest thing I've ever seen in any coaching. They're going to a 3-man coaching rotation of Adam Oates, who coached the offense, Scott Stevens, who will coach the defense, and the general manager, Lou Lambarello, is going to run the bench duties. I hate the reason why I don't talk a lot about hockey is because David can't pronounce names. So this is just bizarre. Now, apparently the GM, Lou Lambarello, he's done this before. So this is insane. I like Adam Oates. I liked him when he coached Washington. But this is what they like to do. They bring in a 3-man coaching team. Have you ever heard of anything so crazy in your life? The reality is this team cannot win. They're old. The Devils are old. They're bad. They're an old, bad team. You can't win in today's NHL when your best player is 42-year-old Jaromir Jagr. Can't fucking do it. And guess what? Your next best player is 37 years old. You can't do it. You're not going to win anywhere with that team. It's not going to happen. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Try to call Jake again, see if he answers. Talk about his team. If he answers, that'd be awesome. It's ringing. Maybe he's going to answer. Is Jakey going to answer the phone? Come on, you son of a bitch. So yeah, I wanted to talk about the Devils thing, so I thought I'd call in Jake. And here he is. What's going on, Jake?
What's up? Yeah.
Once again, we didn't catch you on audio the first time, but we got you now.
Yeah. Yeah, it's probably something with both of us when it comes to that.
It's XSplit. Sometimes XSplit wants to pick up, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. What do you want to do?
It's a Russian roulette. What do you think about this craziness with the 3-man coaching rotation? Have you ever heard of anything like this? This is insane.
I've never ever heard of when I kept on getting all the updates. I'm like, who's the coach? Is it Lou Amarillo? Is it Scott Stevens? Is it Adam Oates?
Well, it's all three.
I'm like for a while. I'm like, is there enough room behind the bench?
Right.
They're going to be bumping into. They're going to look like the Three Stooges back there watching you chowderhead.
Apparently, Oates's going to coach the offense, Stevens is going to coach the defense, and Lamarillo is going to be control of bench duties, whatever the fuck that means. So this is bizarre, man.
Honestly,
for a great franchise too.
That like I was saying, the New Jersey Devils have been right next to the San Antonio Spurs, have been one of the great underrated franchises in their sport that have always gone, without being noticed.
Yeah.
And right now they are just looking like complete idiots.
Yeah, I agree. I wouldn't have had a problem if they would have signed Adam Oates, because I like Adam Oates. He failed in Washington, but I like Oatesy a lot, and I would have been behind that. But this 3-man thing, it's a joke. It's a gimmick. I don't get it.
I mean, right now, the Devils are. Let's face it, Lou Amarillo does not want to say what they are because he's a winner, and he's won no matter where he went. Yep. He's a guy who found Mike Krzyzewski, the basketball coach for Kentucky.
Not too many people know that, but yeah, that's very true.
Yeah, he was he was an athletic director for University of Providence. So the guy's a winner. The guy could find talent, but the guy's also cheap.
Yeah, and here's the thing. I don't think that it's a coaching problem. You can't be a successful franchise in this day's NHL when your best player is a 42-year-old Jaromir Jagr. You can't do it. Yeah.
I mean, they have a lot of great young talent. Their farm team is playing lights out right now, which is
switch them out. Fuck. Let's see. It can't be any worse.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, they have, and I kind of think right now. I think, and I'm happy to admit it. I mean, they're rebuilding.
Yeah,
you have to rebuild. I'm sorry, you can't go they from 1992 to now they only missed the playoffs 4 times.
Yeah,
and then and every year they're always in it. They're always like. They're always a contender. You had one of the best goalies to ever play the game.
Absolutely.
You probably one of the top 10 defensive pairings of all time. Yeah. With Stevens and Niedermeyer.
I think that they made the right decision in letting Brodeur go, because after the first 2 starts he had over there with St. Louis, he's completely shit the bed now. And he's showing he is completely deficient. He does not belong on the ice. It's time to go. He's not going to finish the season with St. Louis. I don't think there's any way.
No, I think one more team will pick him up because I just think everybody, they look at him kind of like when I did a thing with Tommy when Scott Gomez came back to the Devils.
Yeah.
Players like Martin Brodeur, and also I'm not comparing Gomez and Brodeur, but
yeah, I don't think you can. Yeah,
but players like that show promise, you always think that you're going to find a little bit left in the tank. and maybe you'll get a little bit out of them,
Yeah.
just enough to give you like a playoff push.
You get that
Or
hope. Yeah.
yeah, just okay. This we know this guy has the capabilities. We know what he's capable of, but I don't know if it's just you're just preying on it, and sometimes it'll bite you in the ass. Sometimes it won't.
You're the Devils man here. Is there anything that they can do to turn this ship around and maybe get into the playoff squeak in there? Are there some trades? Is there something they can do? You're running the office. You're the GM for the next 2 weeks. Is there anything that you think you could do to get this team back on track, or is this season lost?
I think honestly, right now this season's lost, and I think right now you're having I would say I wouldn't say a fire sale. I'm not saying you're gonna give up Schneider.
Yeah, no.
Because Schneider's been a lot of you get a lot of fans saying that Schneider's horrible, but Schneider's not been horrible. It's been the plane.
Yeah.
And the guy. I mean, he has
He's still young too. He's only like 27 max.
Yeah, he's a young goaltender. This is his first full season as a starter. I think right now you trade away a few pieces. You trade away a Marek Zidlicki. You trade away a Jaromir Jagr.
You think Jagr has any trade value at 42? I know he's playing great for the Devils, but do you think that he has any trade value? Like anything substantial?
I think a third or fourth conditional pick, maybe.
Is that worth it? Or, I mean, with as well as he's playing, you think that's worth the Devils doing?
I think at the time you get what you can.
Yeah.
And I mean, you're not gonna break the bank. You're not gonna do a Jagr for Crosby or anything. No,
but he's probably walking next year anyway. He's probably not sticking around. He might finally retire. I don't know.
I mean, I could see him even trying to go for like a St. Louis or something.
I could see that.
So, I could see him fitting in St. Louis.
That would be a good place for him. Hell, in the right situation, I could see him being perfectly fine with you guys too. Look at the year he's having. He's having a really good year.
But you know what? There was reports because he liked Pete DeBoer, and there was reports saying that.
Hello.
You there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh yeah, he liked Pete DeBoer, and I think there's been the rumors that he's going to leave after DeBoer.
You think he's just going to walk? Ooh.
I think he's looking to get out.
Shit.
I really do.
Oh, shit.
I think he's looking to get out. I think Zidlicki's going to leave. I think because his contract's up, and he has been producing. And I think it's time for the young kids to come up and off the phone. And I think it's time for Henrique to step up. And I think and I think this three-headed monster that they have, how appropriate that they're called the Devils and they have a three-headed monster as their coaching.
It's a Hydra! Oh my God, it's a fucking Hydra! But there you have it, folks. If you're a Devils fan, duck and cover because it's going to get a hell of a lot worse before it gets better. And that's
tickets. Cheap tickets.
Cheap tickets. Go watch some games. Watch Jagr while he's still there.
Yes.
Thanks for joining me for a few seconds, Jake. I'll call you back as soon as I'm done with the show, and we'll talk about when we're going to do the interview.
Yeah, give me 15 minutes to get home, and I'll set up and we'll do the other thing.
Great. I'm going to finish up my little show here, and then we'll do that. Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
All right, man. Thanks for joining me for a few minutes, Jake. Appreciate it.
All right, no problem.
Peace. Oh, that was fun. Got a little hockey in there. Yeah. Let's keep this party going. I'm not ready to leave yet. Where's Ed Crowley? Where are you, Ed Crowley, you son of a bitch? You limey bastard. Where are you? Answer the frickin' phone. This guy's been wanting me to call him all day. He's like, where are you, mate? It's not how he talks, but still. Answer the phone, Crowley. Well, at this time, I would like to apologize because I had some technical difficulties. Apparently, XSplit doesn't always like to pick up the audio when I switch from phone call to phone call, and I did not notice that the audio was not picking up for the great Ed Crowley. So the 15-20 minutes or so that I did with Crowley has gone lost. And this has happened a few times. I'm going to blame XSplit or Skype, but I don't think this one is completely on me. But I apologize to all you out there who may have wanted to hear me and Crowley yammer back and forth about wrestling. And actually, we talked about some good stuff. So I'd like to apologize to Ed Crowley, and I will have you on again soon, my friend. Other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. It was a pretty good one. Really happy with Jake Link on here talking hockey and all that good stuff. So make sure you check out more Daily Focus. And remember, new format for the week. We got all kinds of new stuff going on. Every day we have something a little bit different. Put out the schedule earlier. I'll do it again, a little more formally. And remember, coming soon, 500 subs. You can get us there, and big giveaway box. So like, subscribe, and share, and all of that good stuff. And we will see you tomorrow on Daily Focus. Make sure you check out Joe Cronin's show tonight, live right after Raw, Spectrum Gaming 617. That's it. I'm out, biatches. Peace.